It's Paul, and we're going to do another episode of Paul Plays Shenzhen I. This one we're on unknown optimization device. Like I said, I'm not showing the emails and the stuff between the puzzles. It's nice. Anyway, we're basically going to build a device for a company, and so what I'm doing now is I've been messing with this, trying to capture my desktop as well, because we need this, which is the specification for this device, which we'll get to in a second. So hopefully you guys can all see that. And when I tab back to Shenzhen, it's all good. So open the design and we'll have a look. So what we have here, X and Y are simple inputs. So there's some sort of positional system, presumably a position sensor. Power we send out. Map the XY coordinate to the corresponding power value as specified in Poseidon 779's geometric specifications, which can be found in the supplemental data section of the manual. So let's have a look at it. So we have an X and Y coordinate that we get, and it's between X and Y are both between 0 and 80. So this zone here we need to put out 30. This zone here with a dangerous flux point in it we put out 0, and this zone here we put out 30 again. So what, and then the correction is this: if it's in this area here with these Y values and the X values here, we put out 50 and 80. But if we look closely at it, we can see that if we use this as a base rule, 30, 0, 30, and then if it's in this box, just add 50, because in this square here, or this rectangle should I say, 50 added to 0 gives you 50, and in this rectangle here, 50 added to 30. So basically the rule as I see it should be, if we take a base reading based on the X of 30 to 0 to 30, then check and just see, is it inside this box here? If it's inside this box, add 50, we should get the right number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off and just try and get the basics of it done, and then add this box in later. You bear with me. So, going to use a little one. Gonna do something like that, something like, not like that, something like that. Right, so the first rule I want to capture is this one. And what I'm going to try and do is use the if statement to do this kind of cascading AND statement. So I want it, if it's greater than this and less than this, do a 0, otherwise do a 30. So T greater than P0, and let me be clear this. So this is less than 20 here, so this would be greater than or equal to 20 here. Now we don't have a greater than equal to, so we do have a greater than, so that would be greater than 19. If it's greater than 19, and then we use a plus to in effect get an AND. So this line will only be run if the last line tested true. And if the last line tested true, we want to check that it's greater than or equal to 60, which in other words is less. So we can do less than 60, because 60 is in the 0 zone. Agreed. Only greater than or equal to 60 gives you the 30. So I want to do less than 60. Less than P0 and 60. So now this plus here should only be done if this one was true and this one was true. Move, and we know that's in the middle zone, so that's a 0 to P1. Otherwise we want to move a 30 to P1, and then we always want to sleep for 1. So let's have a look at the verification. So this is 0, so let's just run it. Okay, even though that's wrong, it's good wrong in that we're staying 0, but wherever we're trying to get to the 30, we have it right. So everywhere else we're in this, so all our 30s, all our stuff that isn't influenced by this middle zone here is correct. So let's do a reset it and do a middle zone checker. So can I move this down one? Use a bridge. So we should be able to see this one only needed X to get that sort of horizontal. This one is going to need them all. So again, what I'm going to try and do here is use like to make this and. So what I really want is X is greater than 39 and X is less than this and Y is greater than that and Y is less than that. If all those 4 ands line up in a row, we're in this box. If any one of them fails, we're not in that box. So this guy's job is going to be decide, are we in this box? And it's going to be these 4 ands and greater than that, and X is less than that, and Y is greater than this point, and Y is less than that point. So on with it. So test greater than, we'll do the X's first. So the X is coming in here and it's coming in on P0. Now X is less than or equal to 40. So X is greater than 39. Plus test less than P0. X has got to be less than 80 plus test greater than, and the Y's should be the same, I believe, so that's P1 39 plus test less than P1 80. Right, I think we have that. So we don't know exactly how wide this is. This just seems to go on infinitely. X is just greater than or equal to 60. There's no end boundary there. But hopefully this is what we've done. By using these pluses, if this is true, then this statement gets evaluated. If any of these statements fail, then we're not in that box and we get a negative. So we can do a plus line here and a negative line here. The plus line is if they were all true. So we are in that box. So what I'm going to do is move. I could do the addition, I could rewire it, but why would I bother? I've got this connected here, so I'm going to try and move this 50 to, and we need to connect them somehow, because that's only connected that. So let's just connect them like that. So this is X1, move 50 to X1. Oopsie daisy. Move 0 to X1, sleep 1. So what this is going to do is it's going to send a message of either a 50 every cycle, a 50 or a 0, because again, if we look at this closely, being in this box, just if we take these as the base value, this zone is 30, this is a 0 zone, this is a 30 zone. If we take that, being in that box seems to add 50 to the rule. Rather than get into all these complications about this is 30, that's a 0, that's a 50, that's an 80. If we just keep this rule simple, I believe it'll work. So that sends either a 50 or a 0 depending on whether it's in the box. Right, so up here we don't want to send them out straight away. We want to send them into Accumulator. So the Accumulator now has 0 or 30 based on our base rule. If we add what we get in from X1 and move Accumulator to P1, that may well be it, with a bit of luck, if something isn't completely crazy. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, so I mean, I'm getting, you know, using these with this sort of syntax here to sort of cascade the ands together. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. I kind of like that. Obviously, we can do a little less power. Like I wonder, could you see, this is where you could probably see the way the X input is. Yeah, you could probably do quite a complex solution. Because like the one we used the concept of sleeping for cycles a couple of ones ago, if you know, well, let's say the Y, because the Y is simpler, which is doing this box here. And the way we've got it set up, like it's doing this every turn, but in theory, 92, 84, 59, 63, 61, it's only changing by it's not jumping around. It's kind of moving at no more 86. No, I suppose that's 12. What I'm basically saying is if you were down here with Y pretty much 0, you know you can't get into the box for maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 more cycles. So in theory, you could do something clever where you slept it, couldn't you? So you wouldn't be using any cycles down here to do it. Anyway, and I presume the same. So, but I'm sure there are other even cleverer ways of reducing cycle count. Anyway, so that was this episode. That was Unknown Optimization Device. Hopefully that's all gone well, and that you've seen the page from the PDF as we did it. Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do drop a like on the video. There's also options to subscribe. There are, if you're enjoying this game, I have playthroughs of 2 other games by Zachtronics. Very similar, well, TIS 100 was very similar to this, much more minimalistic version of this type of game. And also the very, very good Infinifactory, which is like a Minecraft block building game turned into a factory building puzzler, which is very clever. But then, as far as I know, Zach built Infiniminer, which was where the original design for Minecraft came from. And as far as I know, Zach didn't get $4 billion. Well, Zachtronics aren't worth $4 billion when they sold their company, or whatever Notch managed to get for Mojang. But fair play to all of them. And but as my understanding, the guys who write this were the guys who came up with the original Infiniminer, which Notch apparently saw and then decided to do a game, which is fair enough, because like all games build on other games, and the idea that there's only one first-person shooter or only one Minecraft would be silly. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I'm going to be hopefully kicking these videos out on a daily basis. Shut up, Paul. Go away. Bye now.